without your dick.
Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to your favorite place to be, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cryptocurrency Theory, the one, the only Cryptocurrency Theory, guys. What is going on? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, guys. We are jumping into a live. So many damn people want me to do it. Maybe, no. So, guys, we are live this evening. Happy Wednesday evening. Finally made some damn time to get on here. Been stretched so thin, guys, but it's no excuse. No excuse. We got to make the time if we want to make it happen. You know what I mean? So, guys, we are live. Come on down. We'll give everybody a momente to rush on down because I know people have been excited. They've been waiting for this for a month. Went back and looked. It's been about a month since we did a live stream. So welcome to all the new people. We got a lot of you out here. Can't even begin to tell you how much has happened. Okay. So we are live here, guys. We're going to be taking a look at your comments and concerns because so many people have been leaving comments recently. Take a look at some prices. Let you know where I think the market's going. And as always, just giving you a honest check-in on letting you know what's going on. Hope you're doing phenomenally well. Hope all your investments are killing it. And just hope you're doing fantastic. Things have been pretty good. Things have been going pretty good here, guys. I've just, I told you guys a couple months ago now that... for people that want the backstory here, I told you guys I was going to be taking up some jobs here because I gotta save up some capital, save up some money. I just call it capital. I like to make myself feel like I'm rich, even though I'm not. But we have been making up. We've been ramping up, and we got an interview. Got an interview here. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm going to drop the resume off tomorrow. $100,000 plus a year job. Obviously it's not the most, but it's more than I'm currently making working 2 jobs. So hopefully I get it. And, try to ramp that up here. Got a couple opportunities actually I'm looking at. I got about 3 different places I'm kind of zoning in on. We're trying to boost that income. Obviously, you guys have been watching the channel for a while. You guys know the last 3 years I've basically virtually been unemployed. I was starting to think I was unemployable. But that has changed. Obviously we got the 2 jobs now. We're going to try to cancel those 2 jobs for a better job that's more of I never thought I'd be saying I'd be a career waiter, right? It's not really the goal. It's just really a temporary thing to leverage the money so I can ramp up the real estate. Because the problem with the real estate stuff was simply there's no guarantee of getting paid. And, the last 3 listings I had canceled. That guy canceled back in October. That was kind of like the final nail in the coffin. Where I had to just, I had to give up the beach house down in Rosarito, and, had to rent a little condo here in Playas, and the rest is history, right? We had to shift things around before the crypto bag went to 0. Right? So that's what we did. And I told you guys we were going to be on here a little bit less until I could get kind of situated, kind of feeling a little bit more situated now that I'm done with the training. But yeah, now I'm like thinking about quitting both of these jobs if I get this new opportunity. It's one of 3. Both pay over one of them probably a little less than 100 grand a year, but the other are well over 100 grand a year. And the managers, they straight up told me, they said, yeah, you're looking for $100,000 plus a year. I said, yeah, that's what it takes. That's what you got to have have any type of life in California. That's really not even a life at 100 grand. That's just enough to get by really out here, to be quite honest with you. But it's a starting point, right? And I can get that going, have enough money to situate myself to get my crypto back in the direction it needs to be, which is obviously more buying. And that way I can ramp up my real estate and actually have the money to do it. So I haven't had really the money to do it because it's, I'm like a scaredy little scaredy cat trying to get these listings, and then they cancel, and it's like, well, that was just a giant waste of time. Tom, are you watching by the way? You got my YouTube. You really cost me a lot of money there, guy. So we'll take a look at prices, guys. That's kind of just a little backstory on why I haven't been on here, but this is cryptocurrency theory, so obviously we're not the most punctual of the YouTube space, but I think we are one of the best. So we'll dive into some comments, guys. I told you guys earlier in the video, a lot of prices have been on the move. Okay, a lot of prices have definitely, been on the move for absolute sure. We've seen, Bitcoin creep back up to about 93K. No. So, we saw Bitcoin creep back up to 93K, which is not far from 100 for basic math people out there. I mean, it's basic math. We're creeping back up to that level that we fell from, right? 100, 107, 110. I don't remember exactly where we topped out at. Then we went down under 80. We hung out in the 70 range for some time here while the crypto, like the stock market, Tesla, all the stocks were falling. And we were all getting panicked. Not really. I don't think people were really getting panicked, but not at least on this channel, but the markets were getting panicked. And, we've seen that kind of turn around here pretty abruptly. We've seen, like I said, Bitcoin sitting at, let me see if I can give you a price here on dollars, US dollars. See what we're sitting at here. I think we're at 93K. So we're down a little bit in the last 24-hour period. Some of these coins that were up 40% have creeped down. But this is what I love about crypto, guys. This Ardor coin that was up a couple weeks ago that fell down. Now look at this. Look at some of these prices. I think you can get this coin on crypto.com, but look at this. This is pretty aggressive moves for, some of these coins that have not really been moving too much. They've been kind of on a downtrend. But they're starting to creep up a little bit here. I mean, it's obviously for the year chart, not crazy. It's nothing to it's nothing to cream your pants over, but nonetheless, the moves are pretty substantial, right? The moves are definitely there. I've been seeing you guys know I'm not on Twitter, but I've been seeing people posting about a lot of things happening on Twitter. You guys know I'm not on there, but it seems like the watch list is at least coming back into focus for some people. At least people are that got in at 100K or got in and got some gains up to 100K on Bitcoin, and obviously that applies to all the altcoin market. They're at least watching it now. For a while when crypto was down, when Bitcoin Cash was sitting under $300, some of these coins, Neo had that whale dump massive loads. I knew it was time to buy, but I also know that just because I'm buying, that does not mean the majority of people are buying, because majority of the people are not always bullish. Okay, most people are bullish when they come in, once Bitcoin's at 120K, then they start looking at it again type behavior. So expect the sheep to be sheep here, guys. We're not confused on where the market is. Obviously, we can't time the markets. We don't know exactly how it'll pan out every single second, but we have a general consensus here on the channel that we kind of know what is going on, what is, to be expected. Now, if Bitcoin dropped down to 50K, then I might start panicking a little bit. Then I might get a little scared. But, nonetheless, it's nothing to be concerned about, because obviously you see that we basically just rally back up all in about a fucking week, right? So let's check in here. Let's check to see if anybody has came down to the chat. Crypto Rico, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, we're always trying to make money here, Crypto Rico. This, if you're talking about me making money off the channel, we're probably about 2 to 3 years out before this channel starts making any type of dent in my wallet. I just, I can't wait to get my hands on money, and that's kind of why we shut the channel. Not shut the channel down. Obviously, the channel's not, it's not getting shut down or anything like that. But I made the decision. I'd rather have money now than try to build this channel out and then try to make it, time perfectly for the bull run, and then just be one of these YouTubers that's just making videos to just making tons of videos just to make money. Because at some point, guys, people just get bored of watching that. I mean, we saw that with the fall of BitBoy and some of these other channels. They their marketing campaigns worked why things were hot, but we want to be one of those channel that kind of is slow and steady, and then when we feel like there's opportunity to ramp it up, of course we'll ramp it up. But I got to be making. YouTube's not going to pay me $100,000 a year anytime fucking soon. It doesn't matter if I make 20 videos a day. It just the interest on the internet. I'm not that guy. Okay, it's not going to make $100,000 a year anytime soon, and I need it to be sooner than later. So that's why I've taken these opportunities. I'm probably making closer to, I would say, with taxes and all these things that I got to pay, probably closer to 75K right now a year, which is not that much in California. Okay, it's really not. I mean, it's like barely enough to fucking get by. But it's enough for me to buy a little bit of crypto here. Taking advantage of living down here south of the border and working in San Diego has been kind of a good opportunity. But I'm kind of over living down here myself. I'm going to be honest with you. Now that I'm ramping the money back up, I'm going to be trying to maybe get out of here, right? I don't want to live in fucking Mexico anymore. It's been fun, but to be quite honest with you, it's been more of a hassle and more of a waste of time than anything. So I'm looking in San Diego. I got my options open, but right now I'm working so damn much. It's hard just to, not hard, but it's you're stretched so thin. There's almost no time to dedicate to this channel, which is probably the sole reason it'll take so long to grow. But we'll find that sweet spot, guys. It's not it takes time to build something great, right? I'm not trying to just like pump out videos. We tried that already. We tried pumping out 5 videos, 6 videos a day on everything you guys want to hear, and the quality of the videos suck. People were looking at the videos and going, dude, you're just fucking talking to talk. If I don't got anything to say, I don't want to just talk to talk. Obviously I do talk to talk, but you guys get what I'm saying. I come on here, I want to have a purpose to what it is that we're doing. I'm not just trying to get people to click. I can make money. Fully capable of making money with this, just doing this waiter thing for, a good little bit of time here. And then when I ramp my real estate back up, and I get that situated, I can get that consistently going. It was just that, losing those listings and then kind of it snowballing down. And then, these issues that I had, it just was a snowball effect. And before you know it, you're underwater. You're living down here in fucking Mexico, trying to get on your feet again. But I am back on my feet, guys. I'm walking very strong here. I got a couple of dreams, maybe some aspirations that we're gonna try to put into focus here over the next few months. Obviously, the channel definitely going to be part of all that, but also, I have expectations. I have high expectations for crypto this year still, and I think that just by the fact that I'm buying again, that I'm getting in on these coins again at some of these prices, I feel lucky as ever. Getting in at Neo at like under $6. Getting this little $1,000 parked bag is badass, because like if it goes up 10, 20x, there you go. You got 20K right there. And that's just one of many coins that I have, guys. And that's what I keep trying to tell you here on the channel. I try to keep pushing here on the channel because I know that that's where the opportunity really lies, is if you can get in on the coins ongoingly in these down slumps, you can really, really, really expect the gains to happen very abruptly, very quickly. And that's just the whole thing that I've been trying to get you guys to see over the last couple years, building this channel out. We had a taste of this back last March with Bitcoin. What was it? With Bitcoin Cash, not this past March. March has already been a year, but a year ago when we saw that BCHG Grayscale Bitcoin Cash leap up very aggressively, you know, and like I said, that little bag that's little, it's not little anymore. It becomes a very large investment when you see things go up 7 to 10x, right? And if it goes up to 20x, even better, right? So let's jump back here on the prices here. Like, you know, like I said, there are some coins that are on the move. You know, they've been coins that have been on the move for the last week. And, you know, it's badass. So, you know, this is what we want to see. We want to see coins climb very aggressively while nobody is talking about it. And like we just started getting news on Bitcoin again on some of the mainstream media like CNBC and some of these other platforms just in the last week, right? Just as Bitcoin crossed over 90K, we've just started to get these news outlets just now talking about it again. So like if you got in under 80 and you rode it already to 93, you're already in the green a good amount. And you're in some of these altcoins, if you got in lower, you know, people that we're talking about Myro and some of these altcoins when they were super high, those people all left when it dumped. Smart people that were thinking, hey, I want to get on these coins, but I'm going to wait till the price is right. Look, they're already up 40% today on Trump coin, right? They're already up 30-40% on Myro. So you don't have to buy these coins. You see a coin you like, wait till it crashes. It's going to fucking crash. They all crash. All coins crash, Bitcoin included. They all crash. So it's better just to wait for those sweet moments to get in on some of the coins. That's why I told you the last couple weeks I was going to be buying. That's the whole reason I got this second job. And I have been buying. You know, I've been buying, you know, would I call it aggressively? I would say it's as aggressive as I can. That's for sure. You know, I bought more NEO today and I'm already up 16% on what I've been buying over the last couple weeks. Because I know it's still down. You know, NEO is still down. We'll pull it up here. And plus, it was convenient. You know, I told you guys I didn't really want to go back to crypto.com, you know, after the Monaco scam. But, you know, it's just a crypto platform. It's not really, you know, it's not really, doesn't really have anything to do with Monaco token. So I kind of rethought that little thing. But, you know, I was buying NEO down here, you know, and you always hear about this where you're like, oh, well, dude, you were buying it down here. Well, yeah, I was, because I went to I knew, guys, when it dumped like this, and I was reading what the NEO dev team and the founders and stuff were talking about, or not really the founders, but the community was saying, and they're like, we're tracking this, you know, this whale dumping all these coins, and I know that it's a 10-year-old project. You know, these coins that we're talking about here on the channel are not new coins. You know, we don't talk about, we'll talk about new coins in the present, you know, if they're pumping or if there's something kind of abnormal about some of these coins jumping really fast, but you know, this is a 10-year-old project, guys. I mean, before, you know, it says 2016. Before that, it was AntShares. As you guys know, we've talked about it a dozen times here on the channel. It's a 10-year-old project. This project's not going anywhere. You know, it's on a variety of exchanges. So when I see a token dump like this, like, heck yeah, I'm gonna get excited. I'm gonna jump in quick. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna do whatever I can, you know, to get my hands on some of these coins. I mean, guys, in December it was sitting at 25 bucks. You know. It's almost 400% down or up if you look at the upside potential. It has almost a 400% gain if you bought it on the dip. You know, a lot of people are 500% gain if you bought it on the dip. And a lot of people don't look at it like that. They go, dude, it's crashing, it's crashing. Well, yeah, if it's crashing, that is your moment to seize the opportunity to get in. You know, you're gonna wait till it goes back up to 25, like people on the channel. I'm not saying people on the channel, but just people were watching the videos. They were watching the Dash videos I made when it was sitting at 60 bucks. How many people on the internet you think are talking about Dash at $22? Let's see where Dash is sitting. Again, another 10-year-old project that people are going to say, oh, dude, Dash is dead. Dash is dead. No, it's not dead. It hasn't ever been dead. It went up to 65 bucks, $67. And this is when I was getting 1,000 views on the video, right? But nobody's looking at it down here at $22. Here's the opportunity right here. So you're looking at a 200+% gain that people are ignoring. And Dash has been up over $1,000. I think it'll go back up to $1,400. Jay asked me today. He said, "Dude, you're gonna sell Dash at $60?" Fuck no. Hell no. I'll be buying Dash at $60. No way. No way. Guys, I know when these coins are going up. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to turn on my little fan because the neighbor smokes cigarettes. It comes in my apartment. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get out of here, guys. I'm trying to figure something out here. I want to get the fuck out of Mexico. I'm tired of living down here. It's been a fucking nightmare. Check into the chat box, see what you guys are saying. So we got some people in here for the chat. Yeah, BSB, yeah, to the moon. BSB's a buy. It's at like $30. I mean, like, come on, guys. Come on. You think it's not going to go to 150? Come on. Crypto Rico. Buy it, Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine's a sleeper too. What's up, Fool? What's good, my guy? What's going on? I am a utility coin fan, guys. I like coins that I can actually spend. I can send to people. As you guys know here, the top right corner, if you guys hold Bitcoin Cash, you can always send me a micro payment or any payment, really. I mean, I'm not opposed to how much. And I'll get that payment immediately, which is just fucking badass. I just like that. That was what got me into crypto when I was like new to it, was the fact that you could trade it. It would increase in price. It would go up and down like a stock, but you could also send it to a, another address. You send it to another exchange that offers trading pairs and you can trade it, right? That was the best part about it. So yes, I'm a huge utility fan. But my current profession is a professional waiter, guys. Can you believe it? Can you believe that I'm a waiter at 37 years old? I never thought I would be, but it's been pretty good to me over the years, guys. Like, I mean, it's just a job. It's not a career. My career is more, I'm trying to focus on, building that career. It's just, some shit happened and, I lost my footing a little bit, but, we're learning to walk again, right? And then once we learn to walk, we learned to, we were crawling for a bit. Now we're walking, and then we're going to start, jogging, sprinting, and then building our quads and then becoming a fucking real estate tycoon. But yeah, you got to have money in the meantime, guys. It really does that you can't just, a lot of people say, "Oh, you just do it. You just set your mind to it and you do it." Well, that's pretty hard when you don't have money to eat, guys. Okay, you don't have money to pay your fucking your bills, right? When your car breaks, you got to give it back to the bank, right? That's when that doesn't really work out so well. So I'm just doing the waiter thing to leverage my current position until I can get my real estate back where it needs to be, and it will be back. I mean, I've already got my license reinstated. I've had some listings. It's just they didn't sell, and I can't be waiting around for fucking, for people to come to the realization that the housing market might be topped out. You can't wait for people for that to happen. But once they start finding out that is what happens, then you utilize your strategies to target that market. And I got a lot of ideas. I mean, I'm going to start going down to the courthouse and getting people that have passed away recently, and start doing trust sales. So I have all these things that I want to do, but like I said, I had to get this job, this first job to get me out from being unemployed. Then I had to get the second job to get me back buying crypto again. And now I'm going to turn both of these jobs into a job making triple the money, while simultaneously making a career move that's going to be, endless amounts of potential, obviously. And once I can get that real estate business going how it was going, it'll be like a well-oiled machine, and it'll just keep going, because you got to get to that point where you can comfortably do it. If I'm not feeling confident in doing it, of course it's not going to work. So you have to make sure that you got your investments simultaneously happening. You can't just I can't just wait for my real estate career to pop off to start getting investing again. I have to invest now, and then leverage that job to create, a career move, right? I mean, in 2022, I was doing fucking phenomenal in real estate, dude. I had like, I made over 120 grand a year, which was pretty good for, just 1 year of doing it full time. But, that was 3 years ago. It's fucking 2025 now, guys. So it's time to, you gotta put your feet in one direction, and then you just got to go in that direction until things start panning out. So right now it's the waiter thing. But the goal is to get that real estate business back running the way it should be. And I'm pretty confident. I am confident. I'm very confident actually that within this time next year, that will be what's happening. And I might keep the waiter job that I'm getting, guys. If I do get it, it's only like 4 hours a night. It's not even. It's like 4 hours a night, maybe 4 or 5 days a week, right? So you're talking 20 hours a week, and you're making over 100 grand a year. You just put a few plates on the table. You make 400 or 500 bucks a night, and the only reason I'm getting hired probably is because I got damn near 20 years experience, and I'm 38 years old almost. So that's the only reason most people aren't going to be able to go out and get a waiter job at one of these high end places. Plus, I'm in an area that people have money to spend. So like, can I make 2 grand a week? Serving a couple tables a night. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm going to do. If I don't get it at this other place, like I said, I got two backup places that I've already applied at too. That said within a month they're going to start getting a lot more busier for the summertime. And like I said, that'll be anywhere from $1,500 to $1,700 a week, which is a little less than 100 grand a year, but still up there, where it'll give me enough money to do my real estate marketing, and then I won't have to work the two jobs. I can just work for maybe 5 hours a night, a couple nights a week, and give me plenty of time during the day to do my real estate thing, to create videos, to get to enjoy some of the artistic things I like doing. So, what's up, Jay? What's good? I see you in there. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me, guys. Not the same old thing, I guess. But here recently, guys, it's been with these two jobs. It takes it. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta put the pedal to the metal. In the last, I would say, month to 2 months have just been, not even, on my days off. I have one day off, and I really just want to lay around here and really just rest my body. I haven't even been able to get back into the gym, hardcore. I mean, I've been running a few miles a week, 2 miles, maybe 4 days a week. But as far as like weightlifting and all that stuff's just on pause until I can get this high paid waiter gig. And then once I get the high paid waiter gig, 100 grand, then I can start going back to the gym and doing kind of these things that I enjoy doing. Because I like lifting weights, guys. I always have. But I've lost pretty much all my size and stuff like that. I want to get some of that size back up. Just because I enjoy it. It's just like people. Some people like I got a friend that likes fishing. His thing's fishing. So I couldn't imagine being a fisherman. But people like different stuff. So I have not been picking up any Doge, Jay. Ever since I sold that $2 million bag at a fucking $27,000 price gain. I can't bring myself to get in on Doge, but thanks, Jay. So yeah, will Doge be a top performing coin? Maybe it might be. It might be like Trump coin. It might be, these coins that people don't know. But I'm a big fan of utility tokens, as you guys know here on the channel. I like coins that are 10-year plus vetted projects, because there's always a chance that a coin could dump, right? We saw that with Neo recently. We saw that with other coins. We saw that with BitConnect, One Plus token, OneCoin. All these coins that just disappear, right? But when you look at a 10-year-old coin that is still on, every exchange basically in the world, that has mining, that has a finite supply, that has mathematics built behind these coins, the likelihood of those coins disappearing is much, much less likely than, say, like a meme token that is up 10,000%, in a bull run. So that's why I kind of just take my time with a few select coins. I'm not in a rush to get in on the best price, because I don't have money available to allocate to these coins every single second at the best price. I have money available as I make it to invest in coins that I think have opportunity. And that's just the best any of us can do. You know, nobody's going to get in at the very bottom and get out at the very top. Maybe there's a few that do, but I've learned and I've seen that most of the time, people get in way too high and they sell way too low. You know, that's just been the trend I've seen. Maybe you guys have seen something else, but you know, it's just how crypto is. You know, people like buying stuff overpriced. They like buying Tesla at 19,000% up. You know, they don't want to sell it. They want to hold on to it forever. But if you're looking to make money in this stuff, it's definitely good to take profits. That's one thing I have made the mistake on in the past is like if you're up 1,000%, like, and you're not taking profits, you know, it's maybe it could go more. You know, we saw that with Doge, we saw that with other coins, and yeah, I could be wrong, and you could sell all your coins at 1,000% up and it go to 5,000% up, because a lot of these, you know, a lot of these coins we're talking about are already thousands of percents up. But it's just not a good way to look at it. You know, you want to manipulate the fiat money system is the whole reason we're in this stuff, right? In crypto. And you do that by taking profits and then buying back at a later date. Had I sold my bag at 270,000, I could have DCA'd for fucking 2 years and probably had 10 times the amount of coins right now and still be up over fucking 500K, right? But it also makes more sense if I would have just held all my Ethereum and Dogecoin and Bitcoin, I would have fucking, you know, 700K. You know, and I'm doing the math kind of loosely in my head, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. So there's no like one way to do it. I would just say that as consistent as you make money should be how consistent you buy coins, right? Regardless of the price. Obviously, you know, you guys know I'm a huge Bitcoin Cash bull, right? You know, I love certain coins, but right in this particular moment in time, I'm looking at advancing my portfolio in coins that I think are lower priced rather than getting in on coins that already are a little bit elevated in price, pricing in the fact that I think the market is going to go up, right? And I could be wrong. You know, maybe Bitcoin Cash is going to be the top performing coin this bull run. But you know what? I have a lot of Bitcoin Cash. I have a lot of BCHG. So if that happens, great. You know, if I didn't have those coins, I might be more prone to get in on coins like Bitcoin Cash, you know, things like this. You might say, dude, you don't ever talk about Bitcoin Cash anymore. Like that's not true at all either, right? I'm just telling you that for me, for what I'm trying to do in this stuff, I'm trying to get in on coins at the low. And right now, last 2-3 weeks, when Neo took that dip, I was fucking rushing onto crypto.com to try to set up my account, only to find out that I had an active account already and I could buy it with my debit card. So what did I start doing? I started buying Neo every single day. And like, you know, now I have a pretty substantial Neo bag at that lower price just in 2 weeks, right? So that's how you do it. If you find a coin that you like, you know, people were talking about Caspa for the longest time. It came down a bit. You know, maybe some of these coins are you know, worth looking at now that they're down. Dogecoin, people that bought it super high as they thought it was going to go to the moon again, well, it's down now again. So, you know, I think Jay mentioned that a minute ago, Dogecoin, right? So I think that like the top coins that I would be looking at right now are Dash, BSV, Neo, and definitely Zcash. I still think Zcash is going to be a top performing coin. You know, and that's just what I think. You know, maybe other people have different ideas. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to be a top performing coin too. I'm just saying I'm not willing to enter positions in new positions in Bitcoin Cash simply because I feel like I you know, you're never going to have enough of the coins you like. I'm just saying I'm comfortable where my portfolio is in my Bitcoin Cash positions. Therefore, at the current price of where it's at now, I want to see how it performs over the next couple months while not, you know, discrediting Bitcoin Cash or saying like, oh, I don't like it anymore or anything like that. I already have it. I already have the coin. I have the Grayscale. I have both a large amount of my portfolio already in this coin. So I'm going to be taking advantage of other coins that I think are lower that have more of a price point to go. You know, the coin guys that we all should have been buying this last year, fucking Monero. Like, we should have been buying Monero over the last year. When Bitcoin Cash went up last March and it dropped we should have been DCAing into Monero. Monero is looking like it's going to not only break out, but it's almost 100% up. You see what I'm saying? So like, it just doesn't make as much sense to hyper focus on one particular coin and just hope that coin does well. Is Bitcoin Cash doing well? Yeah, it's at a pretty good level. I mean, it's at $361, but I think Neo at under $6 is a better opportunity than where Bitcoin Cash is currently at from my perspective. You know, could I be wrong? Maybe Bitcoin Cash will, go to 3,600 in the next week. We'll be up 10x, and Neo will be sitting at fucking $10. You know, I don't know. Nobody knows, but I'm just saying, like, it just makes more sense to look at it like that because, like, this was a coin. I'm gonna just pull it up here for shits and giggles. Like, I knew Binance Coin was gonna go up, guys, and I wanted to get my hands on it a lot. But I was looking at Binance Coin when this was the graph. I remember when this is all I had to look at on Binance Coin, and I was like learning about CZ. I was just getting into crypto, learning how to like send it to a wallet and all this. But this is what I looked at for a fucking year, going, I want to buy some Binance Coin at $6. I was literally because I remember this is when Tezos and all the other coins that I had crashed, and I'm thinking like maybe I should get in on some Binance Coin. Maybe I should put a couple grand into Binance Coin. That'd be a $200,000 portfolio now, guys. I mean, look, it's been one of the best performing coins, and it looks like it's going higher. And it probably likely will continue to be a top performing coin just because they have so much liquidity on this exchange and on their coin. It just makes sense. So, the longer you're in this stuff, guys, you'll lose money, you'll learn about it, you'll get in on this stuff. You'll find opportunity when a lot of people are snoozing on it. And I feel like I did pretty good the last couple weeks. I'm feeling pretty good about it. With my my Neo purchases, and I'll probably try to get some Zcash maybe here into the weekend. But like EOS, like a lot of people, oh, EOS is dead, EOS is dead. No, it's not dead. You guys are just stupid for saying that and thinking that. It's gonna go back up, actually. It's gonna go back up, actually. Like, we'll go back up to like $35, or no, $20 or whatever. I don't know, maybe. It might not. But is it a buy? Like, is it a buy right now? I mean, it's on all these exchanges. It's gone to 15 last bull run, right? It's only a matter of time before it goes higher, right? It's not likely going to go lower, okay, because the prices are already bottomed out over the last 2.5, 3 years, right? We've seen that with a lot of coins, other than like Bitcoin Cash, it's up a little bit, but, Zcash and Bitcoin Cash really, they're up 35, 40%, but, they haven't really done that next leap up. And once they do the next leap up, then you suddenly have everybody on YouTube like wanting to like talk about it and talking about, hey, you should get in now. And, Zcash is $600. It's going to go to 6,000, but it's like you already missed the game. So it's like, why not just get into some of these coins while they're dirt cheap and then just ride that initial jump up? And then when everybody's talking about it, you just sell off into that. You don't have to sell all your coins. I'm not telling you guys to dump your whole bag. The best strategy for me has just been hold the fucking coins, but you got to take profits. It's dumb to think that the market is just going to go up forever. It goes up and then it goes down. The bubble goes up, it bubbles up, it pops, and then it bubbles up again at some future date. And you're not going to catch it before it bursts every time, but you can you can get in on some of these coins when they're low, and then you can take advantage when they come low again. It's like the best way to look at it. Then if you're trying to like, we make the mistake, or at least I have, where you think the coins are just going to go up for, too long. They're not going to go up that long. A lot of times these coins, they hit all-time highs within a month later, they're down 60%, and then it just goes into a fucking bear market for 3 years. So, like, it's better just to like get in on coins when they're low, take profits. If you're afraid you're going to miss out, leave some coins where they're at. They're safe in your wallet. Play that game. But, I spent too many Bitcoin Cash at under 350, and now it's too hard to get in on those coins in my current financial state at 350 as fast as I sold the coins when they were down. See what I mean? So, nobody can tell exactly, like, how everything's going to play out, but like we can look at Cardano, for example. Remember that spike we had, like, just randomly? It was like on a Saturday or Sunday. It was just like, it wasn't too long ago. It was like maybe 2 months ago, maybe. It was this one right here, right? Cardano like went up when all the coins went up in December, when we were talking about Dash at $60, when Neo was at $25, and Bitcoin was at 110K. Bitcoin Cash was back over $600, right? But like this Cardano jump right here, like a lot of people I feel like jumped in up here when it just bounced back up, went from like 0.65 to like 50-60% up in a day. And look, it like fell back down, but like Cardano is just one example. When you zoom out on the graph, like look, that's just like one point in time. That's like one day or two, maybe 2-3 days. So that's what I'm saying. Like these all-time highs are just 2 or 3 days. They're not like months where they just like stay up. It takes months for them to get there. But then when they get there, they only hang out up there for a short amount of time. Then there's all these people buying and they're just holding as it drops. And I think crypto will continue to look like this. I don't think that part will change, right? So it's just better if you just zoom out on the graph and say, hey, am I getting in on a coin at a good time? Is Cardano a good price in the current world market? Because you got to remember, crypto is a world, asset class. It's not like how well Tesla's doing this month because they haven't sold any cars, or Walmart sales are down, or Target is laying off employees. It doesn't have anything to do with that. The crypto markets do somewhat follow the stock market, but like not always. Not always. We see random coins like this Ardor coin, and like today we saw like Myro, an official Trump coin, just bounce up. We just saw him bounce up. Like, what was the cause of that? The fucking official Trump dinner that was announced for people that were like holding over a certain amount of coins after it jumped. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's dumb to think about it like you're going to hear something from the news that's going to explain why it's going up. It's always after the fact you hear it. It's like he announced the dinner after the fucking coin's already up. Last week it was half. You're up 100% from last week when nobody was talking about it. There was not one fucking news article last week about Trump coin, maybe other than some like AI generated bullcrap. So that's just kind of how like these markets work. They're not traditional like, oh, we're waiting for the earnings report, and Elon Musk said this and all this crap. It's like the coins just jump up, and then you get a million reasons why the coin's up, and you have everybody chasing it because of these million reasons why, and then it just dumps again, right? It's like just crazy, man. Let's jump back into the chat here, guys. I don't know if we're gonna do comments. I thought we were, but see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Jay says he still has some Dash. He's not sure what to do. It looks like a shiny buy. Looks like a good buy right now. Is Neo still a buy? Yeah, I'm serious. Like, yeah, like we should have been buying XRP and Monero over the last year. So yeah, Jay said he wants to get the fuck out of Bitcoin Cash. Like, it'll be when everybody gets the fuck out. Do you know what's funny, Jay? Is it's so funny because when everybody wants to get the fuck out, and then that's when nobody will actually get out. But when everybody does get the fuck out of Bitcoin Cash, that'll be like actually when it goes up, right? Because the crypto exchanges will see all this liquidity as not only an exit point for the people that are selling too early, but a way to use arbitrage to pump the price and bring new people in. That's exactly what's happened with Binance Coin. It's exactly what's happened with a lot of these meme tokens. It's like the opportunity that you guys create when you guys sell the tokens is the same opportunity that crypto exchanges take advantage of to pump the price to bring people in. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like when I sold Doge, like I was 300% up. I thought I was making a good investment, and then I missed like 5,000% gains. So it's like, where's the logic in any of this stuff? It's hard to find it a lot of times, but that's why we're here on the channel, guys. I think I'm going to take off here. As always, we appreciate you guys coming down to the live stream. We'll try to get on here, at least do, we'll at least do some lives more than we've been doing. I mean, I think we did like one live in the last month or two. So we'll definitely do some more lives. We'll have some videos coming out, slowly kind of ramping that back up. And you guys just keep giving me feedback, keep giving me comments. When I read the comments, I try to at least give you guys an acknowledgement that I read your comment by, tapping the like button. So if you guys like what you see here on the channel, as you guys know, I've been permanently banned from Twitter, and I'm not going through all the legwork of getting a new computer, running a VPN, changing my phone number, changing my email address, just so I can be on Twitter to to show my videos. You guys have been really good. We got over 2,000 shares on these videos on different platforms. So we're already doing a good job of that. You guys are doing a good job. So just share these videos on Twitter or wherever, X or whatnot. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.